feeling like you're drowning in decluttering tutorials, but your home and maybe your mind still feels one click away from total chaos. Or perhaps you've dived into articles on Socrates and Thoreau, loving their ancient wisdom on contentment. But then, how on earth do I apply this to my 9 to 5 and that never-ending inbox? Trust me, you're not alone. So many of us are looking for a simpler, more meaningful life. But figuring out the how can feel like trying to pick between two completely different worlds. So today, we're going to explore those two approaches. On one hand, you've got practical, simple living. Think Marie Kondo's spark joy method and all those clever spending hacks. On the other, there's the deep philosophical side, inspired by thinkers who found incredible richness in having less. Which one truly holds the key for you? Is it all about taking action, or is it more of a fundamental shift in how you think? Or, just maybe, is there a way to bring them both together? Let's try and figure that out. The allure of the practical path. Let's talk about the practical path first. It's super appealing, right? And for good reason. It's tangible. You can actually see and feel the results. When you declutter a room using Marie Kondo's method, asking if each item sparks joy, you instantly create physical space, and often, mental space too. This way of doing things is all about action, sorting, organizing, and making smart, efficient choices. The upsides are pretty obvious. You get those quick wins, you see your progress, and you feel more in control. Taking small steps, like starting with just one drawer, or really asking yourself if you need that item, can make the whole journey feel less overwhelming. Things like mindful spending, pausing before you buy something or keeping an eye on your expenses, give you real power over your finances and help cut down on those impulse buys. And don't forget, digital minimalism. Just auditing your apps or setting screen time limits can literally give you hours back in your day. But are there any downsides? Well, sometimes, if these practical steps aren't connected to a deeper why, they can just feel like more chores on your never-ending to-do list. You might end up with a perfectly minimalist-looking space, but still feel that nagging restlessness inside. Or maybe you just swap old clutter for new, super-organized clutter. The focus on doing can sometimes make us forget about being. The depths of the philosophical path. Okay? Now let's switch gears and look at the philosophical path. This one gets us thinking about the big questions, like what does true contentment even mean? You've got thinkers like Socrates, who said we should value virtue over wealth, or Henry David Thoreau, who famously pointed out, a man is rich in proportion to the number of things which he can afford to let alone. These guys really make you rethink your priorities. This path isn't so much about what you do, but more about how you think and who you're becoming. It is all about being intentional, making choices that line up with your values, and finding happiness in things that are unmaterial, like your relationships, getting creative, or just finding some inner peace. It's a shift from wanting more stuff to appreciating what you have, from being constantly busy to actually being present. The upsides here can be huge, a chance to get to the bottom of what's making you unhappy, build up your resilience, and find a much deeper sense of meaning in life. But, let's be real, this path isn't always easy. It can feel a bit fuzzy or abstract. Unlike a tidy closet, a change in your mindset isn't something you can see right away. It takes patience, a lot of honest self-reflection, and sometimes facing uncomfortable truths about yourself. The rewards can be incredible, but they often take a bit longer to show up. The intersection, kazo, are actually, and so, we've talked about the practical and the philosophical. The title of this video asks, which path is yours? But what if that question is setting up a choice we don't actually have to make? What if it's not either or, but really, and think about it. Could Marie Kondo's hands-on decluttering actually opened you up to some Socratic? When you clear out your physical clutter, you often clear out mental clutter too, making it easier to think about those deeper questions. And on the flip side, really getting Thoreau's ideas about what is essential might just give you the motivation you need to actually do those practical things, like downsizing or being more mindful with your money. The reality is, these paths aren't separate. They can actually work together beautifully. Practical steps can feel a bit empty if there's no why behind them, and a philosophy can feel way too out there if you can't apply it to your everyday life. Simple living, when it's really working, usually involves both how you think and what you do. Finding your unique path. So, how do you figure all this out and find what truly clicks for you? It really comes down to knowing yourself and being willing to try things out. Start by asking yourself a few honest questions. What parts of practical, simple living genuinely get me excited or tackle an immediate need I have? Which philosophical ideas about contentment or purpose really clicked with how I see the world right now? Where do I feel the most out of whack? Is it my physical space, my schedule, my money, or how I feel inside? Then, dip your toe in with some small experiments. This week, maybe you could tackle one practical decluttering project and spend just 20 minutes reading or journaling about a philosophical idea around simplicity. See how each one makes you feel. Remember, simple living isn't a strict rule book. It's your personal journey. It's about consciously shaping a life that lines up with what you value, not trying to perfectly copy someone else's idea of simplicity. And it's totally okay if your path looks different or if it changes as you go. Conclusion and call to action. So, at the end of the day, whether you're leaning more towards practical tips, diving into deep philosophy, or like most of us, probably finding a mix of both, the goal is pretty much the same: to build a life that's less cluttered, less stressful, and more in tune with what genuinely matters to you. It's about discovering that sweet spot where what you do every day is guided by your deepest values, helping you live a more satisfying life. This whole simplifying thing, it's an ongoing journey, one that needs you to make deliberate choices and check in with yourself regularly. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which approach or combination are you leaning towards right now, and what's drawing you to it? Drop your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Your journey could really spark something for someone else. And hey, if you found this chat helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more on Living with Intention.